Hello friends, so we are continuing to learn about Kubernetes, and in our last video we checked how Istio can help you to do a lot of things, and we are going to go a little bit deeper in for Istio today. And in particular we are going to check how traffic management can be done in Istio. So Istio's traffic routing rules let you easily control the flow of traffic and API calls between services. And Istio simplifies configuration of service level properties like circuit breakers, timeouts, and retries, and make it easy to set up important tasks like A/B testing, canary rollouts, and stage rollout with percentage based traffic splits. And it also provides out of the box failure recovery feature that help you make your application more robust against failures of dependent services or the network. Now, in order to direct traffic within your mesh, Istio needs to know where all your endpoints are and which services they belong to populate its own service registry. So Istio connects to a service directory system. For example, if you have installed Istio on a Kubernetes cluster, then Istio automatically detects the services and endpoints in that cluster. Now, using this service registry, the Envoy proxies can then direct traffic to the relevant services. And most microservice based applications have multiple instances of each service workload to handle service traffic. That is sometimes referred to as load balancing pool. By default, the Envoy proxy distributes traffic across each service's service load balancing pool using a round robin model, where requests are sent to each pool member in turn and returning to the top of the pool once each service instance has received a request. So today we are going to look at virtual services. What are virtual services and how you can configure a virtual service in Istio. Then we will look at destination rules, how destination rule help you control traffic between different microservices. And then we will also take a look at gateway, what is gateway and how you can configure a gateway. And then we will look at service entries. Service entries are basically external services if you want to control them, so we will check how to do that. And then at the end we will take a look at the sidecars. So let's start with virtual services. So virtual service along with destination rules are the key building block of Istio's traffic routing functionality. A virtual service lets you configure how requests are routed to a service within an Istio service mesh, building on the basic connectivity and discovery provided by Istio and your platform. So each virtual service consists of a set of routing rules that are evaluated in order, so letting Istio match each given request to the virtual service to a specific real destination within the mesh. So your mesh can require multiple virtual services or none depending on your use case. Now, why virtual services are important? So virtual services play a key role in making Istio's traffic management more flexible and powerful. They do this by strongly decoupling where clients send their request from the destination workload that they actually implement them. And virtual services also provide a rich way of specifying different traffic routing rules for sending traffic to those workloads. So it's a mouthful, but why is this so useful? So without virtual services, Envoy distributes traffic using round robin load balancing between all service instances, as we saw in previous videos also. So you can improve this behavior with what you know about the workload. For example, some might represent a different version. In the introduction video, we saw that we had two services with different version and we wanted to split traffic between them. So this is how with virtual services you can create that and you can control that. And this can be useful in A/B testing, where you might want to configure traffic routes based on percentages across different service version, or to direct traffic from your internal user to a particular set of instances. With a virtual service, you can specify traffic behavior for one or more host names. So you use routing rules in the virtual service that tell Envoy how to send the virtual service traffic to appropriate destination. And route destinations can be versions of the same service or entirely different service. Now let's take a look at a sample virtual service. So let's take a look at how you can create a virtual service. So Istio is extending Kubernetes using CRDs. So you can define your objects using the same way as you define a pod or a normal load balancer service. So you create an YAML file and you create the API version and virtual service using a YAML file. So the following virtual service in this example is basically routing requests to different version of service depending on whether the request came from a particular user. So this is where we are defining that it should be for that particular user information. The host fields lists the virtual services hosts. In other words, the user addressable destination or destinations that these routing rules apply to. This is the address or addresses the client uses when sending requests to the service. The virtual service host name here can be an IP address, a DNS name, or depending on the platform, a short name, such as Kubernetes service short name that resolves implicitly or explicitly to a fully qualified domain name. You can also use wildcards prefixes, letting you create a single set of routing rules that match all matching services. And virtual services hosts don't actually have to be part of Istio's service registry. They can simply be virtual destination. This lets you model traffic for virtual hosts that don't have routable entries inside the mesh. Now let's talk a little bit about routing rules. The HTTP section here, this section, the HTTP section contains the virtual service routing rules describing match conditions and actions for routing HTTP or HTTP2 or gRPC traffic sent to the destination specified in the host field. You can also use TCP and TLS section to configure routing rules for TCP and unterminated TLS traffic. A routing rule consists of the destination where you want the traffic to go and 0 or more match condition depending on your use case. Now what is a match condition? The first routing rule in the example has a condition and so begins with the match field. In this case, you want this routing to apply to all requests from the user JSON. So you use header, end user and extract field to select the appropriate request. From here, you are extracting the data and matching it. Now the destination part. The route section's destination field specifies the actual destination for traffic that matches this condition. So unlike the virtual service host, the destination host must be a real destination that exists in Istio's service registry, or Envoy won't know where to send traffic to. So this has to be a service inside your service mesh. This can be a mesh service with proxies or a non-mesh service added using service entry. So you can actually send it to external service, but in later we will see when we see talk about this service entries here. So we will check how it is, how we can control external services also. So in this case, we are running on Kubernetes and the host name is Kubernetes service name. So these are the actual service name which are running in our Kubernetes cluster. So note here that we are using Kubernetes short name for the destination host for simplicity. When this rule is evaluated, Istio adds a domain suffix based on the namespace of the virtual service that contains the routing rule to get the fully qualified name for the host. Using short name in this example also means that you can copy and try them in any namespace you like. And also remember that using short names like this only works if the destination host and the virtual service are actually in the same Kubernetes namespace. Because using the Kubernetes short name can result in misconfiguration, I recommend that you specify fully qualified host name in production environment. The destination section also specifies which subnet of this Kubernetes service you want requests that matches this rule condition to go. In this case, the subnet named v2 here. Now let's talk a little bit about routing rule precedence. So routing rules are evaluated in sequential order from top to bottom, right? With the first rule in the virtual service definition being given highest priority. In this case, you want anything that matches the first routing rule to go to a default destination specified in the second rule. Because of this, the second rule has no match condition and just directs traffic to the v3 subset here. So whenever this user condition matches, that request will be sent to this destination. And since we do not have any match condition for this route, all other requests will be directed to this host of this version 3. So this is not all what you can do. You can set match condition on traffic, ports, header fields, URIs and more. You can add multiple match condition to the same match block to AND your conditions, or add multiple match block to same rule to all your conditions. You can also have multiple routing rules for the given virtual service. This lets you make your routing condition as complex or simple as you like within a single virtual service. Now let's talk about destination rules. So along with virtual service and destination rules are a key part of Istio's traffic routing functionality. You can think of virtual services as how you route your traffic to a given destination, and then you use destination rules to configure what happens to the traffic for that destination. Destination rules are applied after virtual service routing rules are evaluated. So they apply to the traffic's real destination. So in particular, you use destination rule to specify named service subsets, such as grouping all a given services instances by version. You can then use these service subsets in the routing rules of virtual service to control the traffic to different instances of your services. Destination rules also let you customize Envoy's traffic policy when calling the entire destination service or a particular service subset, such as your preferred load balancing model or TLS security mode or circuit breaking settings. In destination rules, you can have load balancing options defined. By default, Istio uses a round robin load balancing policy, where each service instance in the service pool gets a request in turn. There are 3 more ways you can define your load balancing rules. That is, you can define them as random, you can define them as weighted, and you can define them as least request. Now let's take a look at one example for destination rules. In this example, destination rule configures three different subsets for my SVC destination service here. So for this my SVC service, we have three different subset rules, destination rules configured for this with different load balancing policies. So we have random, we are using round robin. So each subset is defined based on one or more labels, which in Kubernetes are key value pairs that are attached to objects such as pods. These labels are applied in the Kubernetes service deployment as metadata to identify different versions. As well as defining subsets, the destination rule has both a default traffic policy for all subsets in the destination and a subset specific policy that overrides it for just that subset. The default policy defined above the subset field sets a random load balancer for V1 and V3 subsets. In the V2 policy, a round robin load balancer is specified in the corresponding subset field. So you use a gateway to manage inbound and outbound traffic for your mesh, letting you specify which traffic you want to enter or leave the mesh. Gateway configurations are applied to standalone Envoy proxies that are running at the edge of the mesh rather than inside of the sidecar proxies running alongside your service workload. So if you remember, if I have this cluster created and different pods running inside, there are sidecars created in them. So this gateway is running outside at the edge of my mesh. Unlike other mechanisms for controlling traffic entering your systems, such as the Kubernetes Ingress API, Istio Gateway lets you use the full power and flexibility of Istio's traffic routing. You can do this because Istio's gateway resources just lets you configure layer 4, 6 load balancing properties such as ports to expose, TLS setting, and so on. Then instead of adding application layer traffic routing L7 to the same API resource, you bind a regular Istio virtual service to the gateway. This lets you basically manage gateway traffic like any other data plane traffic in an Istio mesh. Gateways are primarily used to manage ingress traffic, but you can also configure egress gateways. An egress gateway, so you can definitely control ingress, you can also control egress traffic, so whatever is going out of your cluster or the mesh. An egress gateway lets you configure a dedicated exit node for the traffic leaving the mesh, letting you limit which service can or should access external networks, or to enable secure control of egress traffic to add security to your mesh. For example, you can also use a gateway to configure a purely internal proxy. Istio provides some pre-configured gateway proxy deployments like Istio Ingress Gateway and Istio Egress Gateway that you can use. Both are deployed if you use a demo installation. Now let's take a example of gateway. This example shows a possible gateway configuration for external HTTPS ingress traffic. This gateway configuration lets HTTPS traffic from ext-host.example.com into the mesh on port 443, but doesn't specify any routing for the traffic. So this gateway configuration lets HTTPS traffic from external host.example.com into the mesh on port 443, but doesn't specify any routing for the traffic. Now to specify routing and for the gateway to work as intended, you must also bind a gateway to a virtual service. You do this by using virtual services gateway field. So in this case, I will have to create a virtual service with gateway name external host gateway. So this is the same name which I am specifying at the top here when I am creating a gateway. So this is how you can bind your gateway to a virtual service, and then you will be able to control able to route the traffic. Now next, let's look at service entries as we talked initially. So you use a service entry to add an entry to the service registry that Istio maintains internally. After you add a service entry, the Envoy proxy can send traffic to the service as if it was a service in your mesh. So configuring service entries allows you to manage traffic for services running outside of the mesh, including some of the examples like redirecting and forwarding traffic for external destination, such as you might be consuming some APIs from outside service, or traffic to service in a legacy infrastructure. You can define retry, timeout, and fault injection policies for external destinations as well. Or run a mesh service in virtual machine by adding VMs to your mesh. You can also logically add services from a different cluster to mesh to configure multi-cluster Istio mesh on Kubernetes. You don't need to add a service entry for every external service that you want your mesh service to use. By default, Istio configures the Envoy proxies to pass through requests to unknown services. However, you can't use Istio feature to control the traffic to destination that aren't registered in the mesh. So if you want to control traffic or retries, timeout, and fault injections for those external services, then you will have to register them in the service registry for the mesh. Now let's take an example of service entry. That is mesh external service entry adds the external service example.com external dependency to Istio's service registry. So we create this service entry and then we add this to our service registry. You specify the external resource using the host field. You can qualify it fully or use a wildcard predefined domain name. You can configure virtual services and destination rule to control traffic to a service entry in a more granular way. In the same way, you configure traffic for any other service in the mesh. For example, here I have created a destination rule configuring the traffic route to use mutual TLS to secure the connection to the external service example.com. External services that we configure using the service entry. So you can create a destination rule once you have registered it into your service mesh. Now next, let's take a look at the sidecars. So by default, Istio configures every Envoy proxy to accept traffic on all the ports of its associated workloads and to reach every workload in the mesh when forwarding traffic. You can use a sidecar configuration to do some of the things like fine-tuning the set of ports and protocols that an Envoy proxy accepts, limit the set of services that the Envoy proxy can reach. So this is how you control who can reach or which service can talk to with other service. So you might want to limit sidecar reachability, like in a larger application where having every proxy configured to reach every other service in the mesh can potentially affect mesh performance due to high memory usage. You can specify that you want sidecar configuration to apply to all workloads in a particular namespace or choose specific workloads using a workload selector. For example, the following sidecar configuration configures all services in the book info namespace to only reach services running in the same namespace and the Istio control plane. Now, as a bonus, let's talk a little bit about network resiliency and testing. How do we test our services? So, Istio helps us to direct traffic around our mesh. Istio also provides in opt-in failure recovery and fault injection feature that we can configure dynamically at runtime. Using these features helps us help our application operate reliably, ensuring that the service mesh can tolerate failing nodes and preventing localized failure from cascading to other nodes. So first is timeout. So some of network capabilities which Istio provides us are timeouts, retries, circuit breaking, and fault injection. So let's take a look at what are those. So a timeout is the amount of time that an Envoy proxy should wait for replies from a given service, ensuring that services don't hang around waiting for replies indefinitely, and that calls succeed or fail within a predictable time frame. So the Envoy timeout for HTTP request is disabled in Istio by default. So you can have a service waiting for response from some other service and there is no response, then it can get hanged up for waiting for the response from that service. So for some applications and services, Istio's default timeout might not be appropriate. For example, a timeout that is too long could result in excessive latency from waiting for replies from failing services, while a timeout that is too short could result in calls failing unnecessary while waiting for an operation involving multiple services to return. To find and use your optimal timeout setting, Istio lets you easily adjust timeouts dynamically on a per service basis. So here's a virtual service that specifies a 10-second timeout for calls to the V1 subset of the rating services. So this is how you can specify the timeout for your services. So you can control this timeout per service basis. Next is retries. So a retry setting specifies the maximum number of times an Envoy proxy attempts to connect to a service if the initial call fails. Retries can enhance service availability and application performance by making sure that calls don't fail permanently because of transient problems such as temporary overloaded service or network. The interval between retries, that is 25 millisecond plus, is a variable and determines automatically by Istio, preventing the call service from being overwhelmed with request. The default retry behavior for HTTP request is to retry twice before returning the error. Like timeouts, Istio's default retry behavior might not be suitable for your application needs in terms of latency. Too many retries to a failed service can slow things down or availability. Also, like timeouts, you can adjust your retry setting on a per service basis in virtual services. So here is a virtual services which is created and you can define your timeout per timeout, like retries, and how many attempts it can make, and for every timeout what is the how much longer it should wait before giving up. Next is circuit breakers. Circuit breakers are another useful mechanism Istio provides for creating resilient microservice based applications. In a circuit breaker, you set limits for calls to individual hosts within a service, such as the number of concurrent connections or how many times calls to this host have failed. So once that limit has been reached, the circuit breaker trips and stops further connections to the host. Using a circuit breaker pattern enables fast failure rather than the client trying to connect to an overloaded or failing host. So, as circuit breaking applies to a real mesh destination in load balancing pool, you configure circuit breaking threshold in destination rules. So when you define a destination rule, you define the circuit breaking threshold with the settings applying to each individual host in the service. So the following example limits the number of concurrent connection for the review service workload of the V1 subset of to 100. So the max connection will be made 100. Now last is fault injection. So what is a fault injection? So after you have configured your network, including failure recovery policies, you can use Istio's fault injection mechanism to test the failure recovery capability of your application as a whole. So fault injection is a testing method that introduces errors into a system to ensure that it can withstand and recover from error conditions. Using fault injection can be particularly useful to ensure that your failure recovery policies aren't incompatible or too restrictive, potentially resulting in a critical service being unavailable. So unlike other mechanisms for introducing errors such as delaying packets or killing pods at the network layer, Istio lets you inject faults at the application layer. This lets you inject more relevant failures such as HTTP error codes to get more relevant results. You can inject two types of faults. Both are configured in a virtual service. So when you define a virtual service, you can define faults there. So the two types of faults are delays and aborts. So delays are timing failures. They mimic increased network latency or an overloaded upstream service. Aborts are crash failures. They mimic failures in upstream service. Aborts usually manifest in the form of HTTP error code or TCP connection failure. So for example, this virtual service introduces a 5-second delay for 1 out of every 1000 requests to the rating service. So here you are setting the percentage of request where this delay will be set. Istio's failure recovery features are completely transparent to the application. Applications don't know if an Envoy sidecar proxy is handling failures for a called service before returning a response. This means that if you are also setting failure recovery policies in your application code, you need to keep in mind that both work independently and therefore might conflict. For example, suppose you have two timeouts, one configured in a virtual service and another in the application. The application sets a 2-second timeout for an API call to service. However, you configured a 3-second timeout with one retry in your virtual service. In this case, the application's timeout kicks in first, so your Envoy timeout and retry attempts has no effect. While Istio's failure recovery features improves the reliability and availability of a service in the mesh, application must handle the failure or errors and take appropriate fallback actions. For example, when all instances in a load balancing pool have failed, Envoy returns an HTTP 503 code. The application must implement any fallback logic needed to handle the HTTP 503 error code. So today we saw how Istio can help you do traffic management. We saw virtual services, destination rules, gateways, service entry, sidecars, and then we saw how networking policies or timeouts, retries, circuit breakers, and fault injections can be done in Istio. So I'll see you in next video where we will cover security, how security can be done using Istio. Thank you so much.